Thank you. We'd like to call up as our very first speaker in a long line of notables who testified today before the
Can you video this? I'll be right back.
Okay.
Muskingum Conservancy Board, Catherine Hanratty from Chardon, Ohio, of the People's Oil and Gas Accountability Project. Togo. Catherine, let's hear it for Catherine.
Put this down here.
Knock up that kid.
Hey everybody! What a gorgeous morning! Looks like Mother Earth is on our side.
All right, Mother Earth.
Okay, so hey, before I get started, what about show me what democracy looks like? What does democracy look like, everybody? Come on, you guys chatting over there. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. So, thank you for being here this morning. This is not a not in my backyard issue. People all over the earth are questioning the wisdom of taking fresh water, lacing it with chemicals, and forcing it at extremely high pressure deep into the earth for the purpose of extracting the last vestiges of a dying resource. It's high time that we ask some questions. We must not let anybody marginalize our experience by calling us NIMBYs. We have a great coalition of people here who are from all over the watershed and from outside of the watershed. We care about the water in Ohio. We care about the water in the United States. We need to ask questions about why are we trusting the same industry that brought us the huge spill in the Gulf of Mexico, plus numerous other spills and accidents all around the globe. Each time they have an accident, they tell us that it's a fluke and that the process is safe. But if this industry is as safe as they keep saying, why do they need to be exempt from some of the most basic protections that we have in our country?
Right.
Why do they need to be exempt from parts of the Safe Drinking Water Act, the National Environmental Policy Act, the Clean Air Act, and the Clean Water Act? The industry representatives will tell you in that, oh shucks, what kind of a sissy are you tone, that all things have risks. But it sure looks like they have limited their risk. They cannot be held or regulated by our local zoning. It does not apply to them. They have wrangled exemptions from important parts of many of the federal standards that protect our air and water. And they don't have to live here when they're done.
Right.
We have a responsibility to ask important questions about the impacts on our air, our water, and our way of life. We have to ask, are a very few jobs now worth risking our air, our water, forever? This industrial process causes pollution even when everything goes right. When they take thousands of truckloads through our roads and highways, when they clear cut an average of 9 acres for every site, when at drilling a toxic oil mist fills every surface for days or weeks, and when gases such as methane are released into the atmosphere or fired off. And then things get really ugly when things go wrong. Like toxic frac fluid blows back at high pressure, contaminating fields and streams for half a mile around. When containment ponds and tanks leak, or parts fail. Or trucks have spills and radioactive sludge fills our roads and our stream beds. Or concrete does not perfectly mold the outside edges of a rough drill hole, allowing gas to escape.
Right.
Oddly enough, this industry is allowed to self-report most of these incidents. Ohio currently does not have enough inspectors to do the job. ODNR is training new inspectors, but it's a year-long process. We need to ask, why are we allowing that? Why are we allowing them to start up without all the proper safety precautions in place? And here we are here specifically to question the wisdom of selling our water from our great reservoirs, from selling our water and our farmers down the road for a few dollars now. That's just crazy. The shale gas has been there for millions of years. It's not going anywhere. Threats that this boom are going to pass us by are just designed to scare us into making hasty decisions that the oil and gas industry will benefit from. In this light of this big hurry, we need to question everything. We need to ask, so if this gas is really going to reduce our dependence on foreign oil, why do we need to put a $1.5 billion pipeline across northeastern Ohio to take this shale gas to distribution centers in Ontario?
Right.
We need to ask, how many jobs are they really going to produce? The industry says over 200,000, but independent studies say possibly 20,000. There's a pretty big difference, and then those jobs will probably only last 4 to 6 years. We have to ask, do they really have a history of no accidents? News reports from New York, Pennsylvania, Wyoming, Texas, and Ohio tell us that that is not true. They are lying to us again. Unfortunately, this industry parses the truth like this is some kind of a game. Could it be that the reporting criteria is skewed? Could it be that they're being deliberately misleading? Such as when they say they mean no incidents, they only mean no incidents during the short actual fracture step rather than the entire process from cradle to grave. We have to ask, is shale gas truly cleaner? Is it better at reducing greenhouse gas emissions? New research is telling us no. Methane leaks over the time of a well produce emissions that are at least 30% more than those from conventional gas. The higher emissions from shale gas occur when the well is fracked, when methane escapes at flowback, and during the drill out after fracturing. Shale gas is not a bridge to the future, it's a plank. That's from Dr. Tony Angrafia. So we need to make sure that we are protecting ourselves because it looks like nobody else is protecting us.
Right.
We need to ask, is there really no alternative energy source that we could be developing? We need to look into the vast amount of solar available. Wind and other renewable sources will truly protect us. This push for shale gas actually delays realistic development of renewable energy. And then we need to ask, what can each of us do? We need to learn more. Don't take my word for it, do the research yourself. Don't take what the industry says as gospel. They have a huge profit margin and the money to hire some of the same advertising agencies used by the tobacco industry to tell us that cigarettes were safe. We will prevail when the public knows the true cost of this industrialization of our region and our globe. So we need to get together and protect our water. So thank you all for being here. Who's next? Woo!